All right. Welcome back to Happy Hour with Heather and Guest. Hold on, I'm just putting Do Not Disturb on. I'm that other dude, Andrew. And as always, I'm joined by Heather, who lends her
Hello.
name to the show, and so much more. So, a good afternoon, Heather.
Thank you. Same to you.
And today is episode number 95. We're going to be talking about a band that was your choice, Odinata.
Yes.
So, without any more further ado, I will hand you the reins and you can begin.
This band is from France, and their debut album, which was released in 2022, Gravitational Perturbation, which I learned of this band from a Doomed and Stoned compilation called In France Volume 2. And on the entire compilation of 43 songs, their song Oriental Memories was the song that stood out to me. So that one song, I had to listen to their album. That completely piqued my interest in them. So I had to go and I had to listen to their album. And I liked it so much that I wanted to talk about it on our show. And I actually rearranged our calendar so I could get them on the calendar sooner because I was so excited about what I was hearing. um, I just think this album is absolutely amazing. It's got this really cool mixture of male and female vocals, and the female vocals they're so high and ethereal. I really love the groove of the guitar, and there's a lot of repetition, especially with the percussion. That the repetition it's almost trance-like. It gives it a trance-like quality. The music is so good and unique, and I feel like if you listen to it enough times, that you'll find the keys to unlock the secrets of the universe. It's just, it's like knowledge. Like if you keep listening to it, you'll inherit this knowledge of the universe. It will just come to you. Um, this album, I think, it's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion, and I'm just so happy that I found it.
Yeah. Well, the universe has thrown us a couple of gems along the way
Yeah,
that if you learn how to be aware, you can find some really good music. Often going into the YouTube rabbit hole, sometimes there are gems to be uncovered. So it sounds like Odinata was one of those. Um, yeah, it was funny because I looked for them on. So I usually listen to music through iTunes, um, and if you are a monthly subscriber, then you just have access to their entire catalog. Which I've found that one of the ways in which you and I differ a little bit is that I think being a vinyl aficionado, um, you're somebody who I'm guessing prefers to have like the physical copy of what you're listening to on the turntable, whereas I'm happy just to do an MP3 that's streaming. Um, so anyway, I remembered the band was named Odinata, and their music I don't believe is on iTunes. However, there are other musicians who have the same name. So at first, I found what I thought, and the other thing is, I learned that an odonata, I think, is a dragonfly or a type of dragonfly, which is on their that's like the cover of their album. And I saw there was another uh, musician that had what I thought was a dragonfly on it. So I was like, oh, well, this has to be it. So I started listening to it, and it was like dance music with a spoken word sample, like Vincent Price during Michael Jackson's Thriller, and I did a double take, and I thought, well, wait a second, this can't be correct, just because of the nature of our show. I was like,
Yeah.
this would be so far out of left field if this was the band. And then of course I looked and saw it wasn't the same one, and then I listened to it on Bandcamp. Um, and it's a really cool blend of doom, psychedelic, space rock, stoner. Um, it does have a unique sound. Um, a lot of that is the composition, but also the interchanging vocals. I thought was really cool. Um, Particularly, I liked the melody of. Um, I think the track is called Red. It's either Red or Metamorphosis is the Path. One of those two, I really, both of them, in fact, I really dug. And Oriental Memories is the lead track off the album. That's the one that hooked you.
Yeah.
So I was didn't really know what to expect going into this, and then I saw that the band is from, and I'm going to mispronounce where in France. Uh, is it Limoges? Limoges. Um, they're described as a psychedelic, atmospheric, progressive doom stoner band.
All the elements.
Well, and they only have been around for 3 years, so it's incredible they put out a debut album in 2 years that is as good as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, all those elements. But there is something, like a lot of bands can be labeled with those descriptions. But I feel like if you were to put this on and I listened to a few seconds of it, I'd be able to pick them out of a lineup. Um, but yeah, definitely worth checking out. I'm glad you rearranged the calendar to squeeze them in. I've done that myself before, but it's always the other thing is, like sometimes uh, you can kind of tell, like regional. Um, so I feel like certain types of music have a regional feel to them. The only other band from France that I think I'm aware of that plays music like this is Weedpecker, but I don't believe that they sound anything like Odinata. So
I
this was
think
one of those things. What's that?
I think I think France, you know what, the music that I've listened to from France, I think there's a really cool, from what I have seen, it looks like there's a lot of really cool, like psychedelic bands that are more on the psychedelic stoner side. Some really cool psychedelic bands coming out of France that I've seen.
Yeah,
Which
I would.
kind of which might be like a regional, like, well, like what you were saying, what might be a
Excuse me.
regional, bless you,
Thank you.
which
Yes,
might be kind of a regional thing.
I don't know. Um, it seems like there's a lot of cool music coming out of the country, though.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
really good. And yeah, I'm glad that I guess that this being their debut album, I'm excited to hear what they put out next.
yeah, yeah. This was unlike, I don't know, it just hooked me right away because it was just kind of like unlike anything that I've ever heard before. And the way that the songs are put together, and the even the singing styles, uh, you know, just really unique, really unique.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, even though, again, there you could describe the music using descriptions that are applicable to other bands. I feel like there is something that's indescribable with this, that's unique to this music.
Yeah, I almost got like in some in you know the the lead song. I almost got almost like a hip hop vibe from it. Like old like classic hip hop.
Sure.
Kind of like that. The way that the song flows kind of has that hip hop beat to it, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a unique take on the genre, I would say.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so be sure to check out gravitational perturb, which I have no idea what that means. I guess it when you upset gravity, if there's a
Yeah, the I
gravitate, if something's perturbed, then
it's
it's
like the planets, like like something that knocks them off of their like makes them like in space if they collide with another, they collide with something or it
sure
knocks them out of their, you
their
know.
orbit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're listening to two people with no science backgrounds discuss some sort of orbit of constellations or planets. So that's what you'll get when you listen to this music. You'll become an astrophysicist,
Sure. Sure.
or
Not
at
like
least
I
you'll
not like
think you are.
yeah. 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 And I'm glad you found the right I'm glad you found the right Odna, you know,
Yes.
Odnada
Well,
and
it was
yeah.
interesting because the spoken word was this philosopher I'm familiar with named Alan Watts, and he was talking about who was a Buddhist, um, mystic Eastern philosophy proponent. So he would give lectures frequently. So it opened with a lecture from him, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. I wouldn't have thought this." And then it was like dance music, and I was like, "Huh, that's yeah, no, this can't be right. Something smelled a little fishy." It was just, but then
Yeah.
fortunately, I found the correct Odinata.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. I'm
Me
glad.
too. I always will.
Yeah.
I'll always find the right music in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope that they become more, I don't know how well known they are in France. It looks like they're, from what I could tell, from their Facebook page and from their Instagram page, it looks like they're touring, or they're doing a lot of shows. So it looks like they're getting out there and playing shows. And I don't know how well known they are in France, but I hope they become more well known over here in the United States.
Definitely, and hopefully we
Yeah.
can help out with that in some small way.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope more people give them a listen and enjoy their music as much as I did.
Yeah. Well, if that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is,
Yeah.
because you've led me to some really wonderful music. So
Yeah. And I like it when I listen, I like it when I listen to something and it's, it's just so different from anything that I've heard before, which is
sure.
rare, you know,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
which is, yeah. And then get so excited about it and then I'm able to talk about it like this.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, go check out Gravitational Perturbation, and we'll be back with episode 96 next week. But in the meantime, you've hit another home run, I would say.
Thank you.
So thank you again for doing the legwork and finding a great band from across the pond.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to listening to your pick next week.
Thank you. Yes, me too.